Hey everybody, Chris the old ass retro gamer here, and welcome back to another episode of Top 3 Tuesday. Today's topic is something that is very near and dear to my heart. I've talked about it many times on the channel before, and that is Mortal Kombat and my top 3 Mortal Kombat games. It's my favorite fighting franchise of all time. Sorry, Street Fighter. So what are my top 3 Mortal Kombat games? Here we go. My third favorite Mortal Kombat game, that would be the most recent iteration of the franchise, and Mortal Kombat X, or in this case, Mortal Kombat XL. And what is it about this game that makes it so rad to me? Well, it is because technology has really improved since the original Mortal Kombat was released in the early 90s, but the one thing about this franchise that never really has changed is the basic gameplay. It still remains 2D, even though it kind of went 3D there in the middle, and it was pretty craptastic. They've just been perfecting that gameplay. But Mortal Kombat XL is Mortal Kombat in its purest form. The fighting mechanics are perfection. You can play it fast and loose like a Marvel vs. Capcom game, or you can play it strategic and slow like a Street Fighter game. All the different varied characters tend to lead towards specific play types. Me, I like fast and furious. The graphics, the music, everything is fantastic in this game. But that's not why I play it. I play it because it's fun. Lots of different modes. You get that awesome crypt where you use coins that you have earned during your fights to buy new costumes, new brutalities, new fatalities. Lots of really cool characters. They were just constantly being added up until like maybe a year ago. Some are unrelated to the franchise like Jason Voorhees and Leatherface. If you want to see my choices for characters they should have added as DLC, check out the link to my video about it in the description below. It has a fantastic story. I love the characters. Some of them are semi-useless. A lot of the characters in this game are the offspring of other characters from previous games. Having Jax's daughter in here, on top of having Jax in it, and they kind of share some of the same moves, just kind of seems really redundant. The same with like Cassie Cage. It just seemed kind of weird. If you're gonna make a new character have their kid, just leave the other two out of it. Yeah, they're legacy characters, but yay. Outside of that and some of the stupid microtransaction garbage, it was my favorite game of 2015 for a reason. It is amazing and holds up the tradition so well that I cannot wait for Mortal Kombat 11. My second favorite Mortal Kombat game is not one of the numbered sequels. It is not part of the franchise. There were many spin-offs to Mortal Kombat, some good, some not so good. Looking at you, Special Forces. But this was probably the one good one. Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks. This was released around the same time as Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon. If you were to take those games, transplant the characters into a 3D beat-em-up with the Mortal Kombat rules and movesets, this is what you would have, and I love it. You can play as either Liu Kang or Kung Lao. It's been a while since I've last played it, but I do remember this taking place sometime around Mortal Kombat 2, because a lot of the characters you fight and the moves that you do were out of that game. Because of the failure of a lot of the other earlier spin-off Mortal Kombat games like Sub-Zero and Special Forces, you wouldn't think that this would be a good idea either, but it looks like some real thought was put behind it, and they're trying to figure out what kind of a genre they could also fit some Mortal Kombat characters into. The folks at Midway really put their heads together and figured out a way to make it work, and they did, because this game is so much fun. I have played through this game at least 5 times, but that was like way back when. It's been a long time since I last played it, but the memory still remains of how much fun I had playing through this game multiple times. Fatalities, brutalities, all the moves you remember these characters doing in Mortal Kombat 2 are all there, and it doesn't hurt that the storyline ain't so shabby either. It's really fun and really cool and really involving, and you get to see some different corners of the Mortal Kombat universe, which is awesome. The one thing that would have killed this game, which killed a lot of the other spin-offs, was controls. The controls in Sub-Zero and Special Forces were some of the most awful, awkward, unintuitive garbage you will ever find in a video game. And like I said, so much work was put into this to make sure that it worked on many levels. It says a lot. I love this game. It is so much fun, and it is a very underrated game in the series. Not a lot of people will consider this like one of the better games in the series. Not this guy, because even though it is a beat-em-up and not a true one-on-one fighting game like the main franchise is, this is the next best thing. It's almost as good as some of the best fighting games in the series. Like my number 1 choice. Was there ever going to be any doubt that number 1 wasn't Mortal Kombat 2? I mean, come on, look who you're talking to. I've talked about Mortal Kombat 2 in plenty of other videos, so I'm going to keep it short and sweet here. This game dominated my life when it was first released into arcades. Just know that this is the most fun fighting game I've ever played in my life. If I didn't think it was fun, would I have been playing it as often as I was? No. Love the character roster. Each character was different and had their own moveset and playstyle. Lots and lots of secrets to find. New characters you can find that you had to do specific things to get to. There were like 2 fatalities for every character, but certain characters had hidden ones like Shang Tsung. Because it was so well developed, it was just infinitely replayable. And it still holds up to this day. Why else was this the most ported Mortal Kombat game ever made? I mean, it is on every single console you could possibly imagine, going from like the Sega Saturn all the way to the Game Boy. And it is just flat out fun to play. And that's all I have to say about that. So there are my top 3 Mortal Kombat games. What are your favorite Mortal Kombat games? I know mine, especially my top one, is kind of predictable, but what can you do when it's one of your favorite games of all time? So if you want to make a response video, please do. Leave the link to it in the comments below. And until next time and the next Top 3 Tuesday video, I am Chris, the Old Ass Retro Gamer, signing off.